So is there a scenario where two different types of cancers occur in the same place, same location, same organ? Well, yes, that is possible, that does happen, and that is called collision tumors. So here, two different tumors, cancer 1 and cancer 2, occur in the same location or the same organ. They grow separately and eventually they touch each other, but there's a clear boundary between them, meaning that they don't mix. So they're very uncommon, they're very rare, but it does happen, and most tumors only have one cancer type. Where they can occur: thyroid, stomach, colon, lung, skin, liver, brain, and lymph nodes. Some common examples of collision tumors are papillary thyroid cancer plus medullary thyroid cancer, 2 melanoma plus basal cell carcinoma, and 3 adenocarcinoma plus lymphoma. Now, why are collision tumors important to study or just know about for doctors? Definitely. So, reason number 1, the diagnosis becomes very difficult. Reason number 2, the treatment becomes very difficult. Both these reasons are because now instead of one cancer tumor, the doctors have to look at two cancer tumors. So one cancer tumor itself is so complicated with its genetic, epigenetic, microenvironmental heterogeneity, so many differences. And now there are two. So that's why the diagnosis becomes difficult and the treatment also becomes very difficult. Because in the treatment now, each tumor might need a different therapy. What therapy works for one tumor may not work for the other tumor. And reason number 3, the prognosis may depend on both the tumors. So the survival of the patient, how the patient responds to therapy, how long the patient lives, if there's a relapse, how quickly relapse happens or how delayed relapse happens, this will depend on both the tumors, not one. And calculating all these things for one tumor itself is very difficult. So calculating for both tumors is extremely difficult. The collision theory, where two tumors occur in one place in the same organ. But how does this happen? So this is rare, not many studies, but there are some theories of how collision tumors can occur. Theory number 1, coincidence theory. This says that two independent cells acquire different mutations and each will develop into a separate tumor. Both the tumors will grow over time and eventually they will meet physically. They will touch, but they will not mix. So the proof of this theory is 1, different driver mutations. That means the main mutation that is the reason for cancer to grow is different in both of these. 2, different immunohistochemical markers. So both the tumors have different proteins on the cell surface. 3, different cells of origin. So in the same organ itself, there are many cells and both the tumors arise from different cells. 4, different genomic profiles. They have different mutations. The example is papillary thyroid carcinoma plus medullary thyroid carcinoma. The limitation of this theory is that the probability of two rare tumors occurring together is very low. Theory number 2 is the microenvironment theory. So this says that tumor number 1 would alter its environment around it. Changes like angiogenesis, fibrosis, inflammation, cytokines, chemokines, immune changes, etc. So all of this results in increased blood vessels, chronic inflammation, immune suppression, extracellular matrix remodeling, and hypoxia, that means low oxygen environments. So nearby abnormal cells can then transform into tumor 2. Basically, tumor 1 is changing the environment around it in such a way that it's favorable for abnormal cells and other tumor to grow. So the proof of this theory is 3 hypotheses support this. 1, seed and soil hypothesis. So cancer cells can grow only in tissues that provide a favorable environment. The cancer cell is the seed here and the tissue is the soil here. Theory number 2, tumor niche construction. So a tumor actively changes its surroundings to make the environment better for its own growth. And 3, tumor ecosystem theory. So a tumor behaves like an ecosystem where cancer cells, immune cells, blood cells, and the surrounding cells interact and influence each other. So all these 3 support hypothesis number 2, which is microenvironment. Hypothesis number 3 is the common stem cell theory. So here, one progenitor cell or stem cell gets a mutation. the daughter cells accumulate different mutations. So basically, when the progenitor or stem cell divides into daughter cells, the daughter cells might get different mutations.